Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It Now. Thank you all for jumping on the stream tonight. To my moderators, put a 1 in the chat room if my sound is good. If you can hear me well, if you can hear me clear, put a 1 in the chat room. If you can hear me well, put a 1 in the chat room. And we're gonna get started right away. Put a 1 in the chat room if you can hear me well. Put a 1 in the chat room if you can hear me well, and we're gonna get started. All right, let's go. Again, I want to thank you all for getting on the stream tonight. It's another episode of Let's Talk About It Now. I am your host, Charles Chambers of Let's Talk About It Now. Shout out to all my new subscribers who just joined on with me this week. I appreciate you and I appreciate your support. Shout out for all of you that have supported the channel via Cash App. $, capital C, capital G, 4033. I thank you all for your support. This is a serious topic tonight, guys. You see the subject. Why is the modern woman dissatisfied with her natural body? Is it worth dying? This is a real serious matter to consider because this is something that is pervasive amongst our women in general, black women in particular, who feel a need to augment their body by way of surgery, to change their body by way of surgery. I'm talking beautiful women who, from all intents and purposes, looking at them, they look flawless. Many of them look fine, just the way they are in their natural state. But they still find themselves pressed to do something surgically to change their appearance. And I think this has become a real serious matter amongst women. Many women have lost their lives as a result of this kind of procedure. Many women have lost their lives as a result of this procedure. And it's really sad. It's really, really, really sad. What is it with the modern woman that believes there's something wrong with her body? What is the campaign that's going on throughout not just social media, but social media platforms and Hollywood and the entertainment industry, and to make women believe that how they are in their natural state is insufficient, that you must do something surgically to change your appearance? I'm really trying to understand this because it's really sad because there's so many, like I said, women that have lost their lives as a result of going under the knife to get different procedures done, breast implants, BBLs, liposuction, tummy tucks. It's labioplasty, another procedure. These augmentations that you do to your body come with a serious consequence. Although you may look beautiful when the procedure is done, if in fact you survive, you're then left with not just the scarring of the procedure, but then you're left with the downward spiral of the procedure as you begin to age out. And no one's telling women this. No one's telling you this. But what's being done is that women are listening to social media. They're listening to Hollyweird, and they're listening to those that are in the entertainment industry, entertainers, singers, female rap artists, all of whom have gotten these kind of procedures done. We look at Little Kim. Many of us that are Generation X, my age, if you're in your 50s, you remember Little Kim. Little Kim was a very beautiful young lady. Very, very beautiful young lady back in the early 90s and late 90s and into 2000. She was very, very attractive. When she was with Biggie Smalls and the Junior Mafia crew that he started, she was very, very attractive. There was nothing wrong with Little Kim and how she looked. Not at all. There was nothing wrong with so many female celebrities, so many female rap artists, so many female singers. There was nothing wrong with them. Who got into their ear and what got into their mind to make them believe that they had to do something so drastic as to go under the knife with anesthesia to get these procedures done to themselves? That in many cases, those that did survive, if you see them today, they look a huge difference from what we remember them to look like. We can tell that they are who they are, but there's something very different about their features, something very different about their face. And yet no one is telling them what they're doing. I've said in previous streams, ladies, you have no friends, because friends would tell you the truth. Friends would tell you the truth even if you disagreed with that truth that you're hearing. Even if you disliked the person telling you that truth, if in fact it was a female friend of yours. I'm a firm believer that a true friend is willing to run the risk of losing you as a friend to tell you the truth. They're willing to lose you as a friend by telling you the truth. But what I'm finding all too often, and to my sad regret, that most people, from a celebrity standpoint and from a grassroots standpoint, they're willing to allow you to crash and burn. They're allowing you to make decisions that they know themselves, many of them, would not make that same decision for themselves. And yet they allow you to make those decisions for yourself, knowing the possible negative outcomes that you may receive. Perhaps deformity because of the procedure. Perhaps some illness within inside your body because of the procedure. And ultimately, in the more tragic way, the loss of your life. Some of you can remember the Kim Kardashian lookalike. I think it was like last year or so. She went under the same kind of procedure. And as a result, she lost her life. And there are many women losing their lives. Women in general, black women in particular, but this kind of procedure has caused women to lose their lives across the board, regardless of their ethnicity. Blacks have lost their lives as a result of this procedure. This augmentation of their breasts, this augmentation of their buttocks, known popularly as the BBL procedure. Labiaplasty, liposuction, tummy tucks, breast lifts. These procedures, ladies, these procedures are dangerous. Many of you know that if you go under the knife in surgery, you run the risk, regardless of what that procedure is, of losing your life. This is what everyone knows, and yet you still, because of vainness, because of how you want to be looked at and perceived in the public. So the public becomes more important in how they perceive you on a physical level, not who you are as a person. Ladies, I need you to listen to me. Not who you are as a person, as a mother, or as a wife to an individual, or as a woman who's just pursuing her goals. They're not concerned about those concerns that you have, but you are more concerned. The modern woman today, she's more concerned at what people have to say about her physically more than they have to say about who she is as a person. And I'm gonna tell you something. These procedures are very expensive. These procedures are very expensive. Upwards of $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 and above. And I think I'm lowballing that, really. Honestly, I think I'm lowballing it. These procedures are very expensive. And yet, you spare no expense. Even if you have to work, for many of you that are not wealthy, you'll work overtime. You'll work double time. And you'll do whatever is necessary to save up, even if it takes you years to save it up, just to afford these kind of procedures that could potentially take your life from you. Going under the knife, under anesthesia. And again, any surgical procedure done anywhere on the earth, I don't care where that procedure is done. If it's a surgical procedure that requires you to go under anesthesia, you have the huge possibility of losing your life. And yet, women are doing this. And they're doing it on a continuous basis over and over. Why? Because you are listening to social media. You're watching television. You're watching videos. You're looking at what you believe men are interested in looking at. Even at the risk of losing your physical life. And yet you're still doing it. Ladies, and I don't care what your nationality is. Ladies, you have to get happy with who you are. Who you are. If there's something that you wish to improve where your physical appearance is concerned, all it takes is work. That's all it takes. If you think you've gained a little weight, it's no problem. That's not a big deal. You can lose the weight depending on how committed you are at losing it. How serious are you at losing the weight? And are you willing to do the work? It just requires changing your diet. That's all it requires, ladies. Changing your diet, perhaps going to the gym, getting on the treadmill, doing some squats, doing some weight training, getting a personal trainer if necessary. Do whatever it takes from a safe standpoint after getting a doctor's approval that you're healthy enough to go through this process. But go do the work. Do the work. Don't take the short. Stop taking the shortcut, ladies, by going under a surgeon's knife to achieve a look and an appearance that you could have achieved had you been willing to do the work. Don't lose your life for it. Why is the modern woman so dissatisfied with her natural body? And is it worth you dying to achieve the look that you desire? Is it worth you losing your life, ladies? For who? For who? Why would you take the risk, potentially, of losing your life? I can see if this was an illness or some medical condition that required surgery that was not within your control, that you had to go get surgery. I understand. I, like you, if I was in a medical situation where I needed surgery and it was a matter of life and death if I didn't get that surgery, then it's worth me taking the risk of getting the surgery, because if I don't get the surgery, I could die. And if I get the surgery, I could also die. So what are the odds? The odds of me surviving it is if I get the surgery, even though there's a potential possibility that I could lose my life in surgery. That kind of surgery is worth the risk. But to go get your body augmented by way of liposuction or labioplasty or tummy tucks and breast augmentations and breast lifts and all of these different unnecessary procedures that put you at risk where you could lose your life, it just makes no sense, ladies. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And it's really sad and it's really tragic that so many women have to lose their lives and have lost their lives. And sadly, potentially going forward into the future, many more will lose their lives, because regardless of how many women lose their lives as a result of these procedures, they still go to Miami to get that surgery done. They still go to these different facilities to get the procedure done. Many of them never vet the doctor, nor do they vet the surgeon that's going to perform the procedure. Yet, because they're so hungry to get the procedure done, they're willing to put their lives at risk. Ladies, stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. There is nothing to be celebrated about you losing your life as a result of you being insecure about how you look. If there is any insecurities about how you look, ladies, just go to the gym. Just work out. Just change your diet. Change your diet. Go to the gym and work out. Get on a workout regimen. Get a personal trainer, like I said. And for many of you ladies that have husbands, let your husband know what you're insecure about. Have this discussion with him. Have this discussion with him. And then perhaps you and him together can come up with some solution as to how to rectify it. Because I will tell you, if he's with you, it's obvious that he wants to be with you. But how is it that you become so insecure, even in a situation where you're married, and you still find yourself so insecure that you're willing to take the unnecessary risks of losing your life to be physically attractive to who, ladies? To who? And this is more directed to women that have husbands. If you're married, that's the only man you should be trying to impress in terms of how you look. If how he believes or how he desires you to look, if it's not important enough to you where he's concerned, then there's no hope. And this is for women that are married. First of all, if you're married, why are you married? Why? If you're not having this discussion with your husband. I mean, after all, you want him to be attracted to you, correct? You want him to be physically attracted to you. I mean, that's how we met. We met by being physically attracted to one another. So if you find yourself in your own mind unattractive physically, that's when you need to sit down and have this discussion with your husband. That's when you need to have this conversation, ladies. And for you guys out there, man, if your lady comes to you and expresses these insecurities where she's concerned, and she's willing to take the drastic measure of going under the knife by way of anesthesia and under a surgeon's knife to make the necessary changes, I'm going to say to you, man, you really don't know much about surgeries, and you don't know much about the dangers of surgeries. Because if you did, you would stop your wife, man. you would stop your wife from having these kind of procedures, man. And I'm not beating you up if you've allowed your wife to do this. I'm not beating any of you up. I just want to get you to think. Ladies, I'm just trying to get you to think. That's all. Because losing your life is final. Losing your life is final. And I'm hoping that this stream reaches women that are thinking about doing these kind of procedures, and you are still yet alive, and you have children, and you have a family, and you have loved ones that care about you, that love you, that don't want to see you leave this planet prematurely. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You don't have to do this. All you have to do is think about what it is that you physically yourself personally can do to change what you see when you look in the mirror. If you don't like something, change it, man. Don't put yourself at risk of losing your life by some surgeon putting you to sleep. And while you're asleep, you don't know what's being done to you. All in an effort to change your physical appearance. Ladies, what is it today with the modern woman that is so dissatisfied with her natural body that she's willing to even lose her life to get the results that she sees on social media, that she sees in videos, that she sees in entertainers, that she sees in actors and actresses, and that she sees in rap artists, that she sees before her eyes on the television? Because that's where the idea is coming from. That's where it's coming from, man. This is not going to be a long stream, but this is a disturbing subject for me, man. And from my heart, I want you ladies that are listening to me under the sound of my voice to understand what I'm saying to you. Stop it, man. Stop it. We just recently, unfortunately, lost a young lady at the age of 32. And I know many of you have heard this report. Mrs. Jackie O, the wife of DC Young Fly. And my condolences goes out to DC Young Fly and his family, and my condolences goes out to Jackie O, better known as Jacqueline Smith, to her family in their loss of their daughter. But I see this as an unnecessary death, man. I see this as an unnecessary death, like so many others that have lost their lives as a result of these kind of procedures. For you ladies that have had children, I understand, man. I understand that your body changed while you had children. It changed while you were pregnant. It changed in terms of you gaining weight. It changed in terms of your skin stretching, where it left you with stretch marks in different places that you may have found unattractive when you looked in the mirror at yourself. And many of you felt as though you were unattractive at that point. But understand that you are a mother. You're a woman. You had a child. And as a result, there's going to be some results of that pregnancy that you may not like. It's going to stretch your body, stretch your skin. It's going to cause you to gain weight, upwards of 35 to 40 pounds additional from whatever weight you were before the pregnancy. This is what's going to happen. It's going to cause tearing of muscles within your stomach area. It's called fascia. These muscles tear in a lot of ways. In a lot of cases, they're unrepairable. But you can get back to an appearance that you are satisfied with, but it's going to require work. It's going to require work, ladies. If it took you 9 months to get to that, why not take 9 additional months after you've gone through your necessary weeks after pregnancy to recover, to take 9 more additional months to get your body back in shape? You may not be able to put the same amount of time in if you have a child. depending on what your resources are. But if you just did it consistently, let's say a year and a half, where would you be in a year and a half if you were willing to do the work, ladies? Where would you be? Anyway, back to the story, man. News One published an article July the 1st, 2023. And it was reporting that Jackie O, the mother of DC Young Fly's children, dies following plastic surgery in Miami. Jackie O, she shared 3 young children with her longtime husband, which is DC Young Fly. Jackie O, the mother of the children of popular YouTube personality, actor, and comedian DC Young Fly, has died, according to the reports. She was 32 years of age. Initial reports claim that Jackie O died following cosmetic surgery. TMZ reported that Jackie O died in Florida and cited a since-deleted social media post claimed she was in Miami to undergo what's known as a mommy makeover. This is where I want to talk about tonight. This mommy makeover thing. And shout out to Gail Reed for getting on the stream tonight. I appreciate you getting on the stream. Shout out to Abdul. But this is what I want to address, this mommy makeover thing. Citing anonymous reports, it says in the article, the source claimed in an Instagram post on Thursday afternoon that Jackie O died due to complications from plastic surgery. It's very sad, man. Very, very sad. Very sad. And what's even sadder is that many of you ladies are saving your money right now as I speak. Many of you ladies in the entertainment industry have already made a decision to get these kind of procedures done. And many celebrities right now that your fans look up to you. I'm talking to some of you female celebrities. You have millions of fans that look up to you who are females just like you. And guess who they want to be like? They want to be just like you. So if you've undergone these kind of procedures, guess what they want to do? They want to undergo the same kind of procedures, which could potentially take their life. You have more power in your hands to change the narrative if you would just simply open your mouth. That's all you got to do. Just open your mouth and at least make these young women aware of the dangers of the procedure and what the potential is in terms of them losing their life. You have a responsibility to do that. What is it with you entertainers that won't say anything? What is it with you entertainers that are simply fall off the grid and won't say anything to the millions of people that follow you? What is it with you? I would like to know. Because again, like I said, death is final. Death is final. You don't get a do-over in death. You don't get to say, oops, I made a mistake. I won't do that again. No, you don't get that opportunity. Death settles it all. Death puts a period at the end of your sentence. Celebrities, you have a responsibility because it's you that the public is watching. It's you that they're paying attention to. Even the up-becoming celebrities who are now in process, they're still watching you. And you become the guide for what they believe they must do to be successful in the industry. Why are you so quiet? Open your mouth, man, and save those that love you, that support you, that spend millions of dollars for you, that made you successful, that made you a household name. Open your mouth, man. Because women are dying because of this process, because of these procedures. And it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. Why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? Let's continue. The reality TV actress model, which the article goes on to say, social media star and entrepreneur, is best known for her appearance on the Wild and Out game show. You remember that game show with Wild and Out with I forget his name. Somebody put it in the chat room if you remember his name. The main host for Wild and Out. Put that in the chat room if you remember his name. And this particular individual, shout out to Afro Goddess for getting on the stream tonight. Thank you for jumping on the stream tonight, my sister. Shout out to Margaret for getting on the stream tonight. Thank you for getting on the stream tonight. Love you, Mom. But understand this. Jackie O's death was later confirmed, according to this article, by the Wild and Out TV game show that launched her fame. They said, "We are deeply saddened by the passing." Nick Cannon, thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon. "We are deeply saddened by the passing of Jacqueline Smith, known to the world as Jacko, a talented Wild and Out family member whose impact will be forever treasured and missed." Aren't we tired of hearing these kind of comments? Aren't we tired of hearing these kind of comments? Ladies and gentlemen, aren't we tired of hearing these kind of comments about how great someone was and how deeply sorrowed we are at their passing? When do we step in between to prevent the deaths, especially the unnecessary deaths? It's gonna take you celebrities, and I gotta come back to you celebrities. It's gonna take you celebrities, those of you, especially in particular female celebrities who are very influential, the Beyoncés, the Lizzos, if you will, and I can go down the list of many others. But it's gonna take you to open your mouth against these procedures and then begin to promote a healthier lifestyle and healthier alternatives outside of cosmetic surgery. Because again, ladies, you're losing your life because of these procedures. You're losing your life. This article goes on to say, in a statement that was posted to Instagram, Jackie O was a loving friend and beloved colleague of the Wild and Out cast throughout 5 seasons. More importantly, she was a tremendous mother of 3. Let's stop right there. This is heartbreaking, folks. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is heartbreaking because this was a mother that was 32 years of age and had 2 beautiful daughters and 1 very handsome, very beautiful son, man. She did a video stream just a day or a few days before the procedure, before she went out to Florida, where she was with her daughters. She called it a mommy-daughter date. You should have seen this video. I wish I had the ability to show you right now, but look this up when you get an opportunity. It's very heartbreaking. She did a video with her daughters in the car, and they were just laughing and talking and, you know, just having a really good time in the car, man. How do you explain something like this to her daughters who are so young and do not understand the society that we live in right now? They don't understand, folks. They don't know the pressure, the tremendous pressure that's put on the modern woman today where her appearance is concerned. Now, any of you that know Jackie O, she was a very beautiful young lady. There was nothing unattractive about her. Nothing. Physically, there was absolutely nothing unattractive about her. I saw her. Very attractive. Very attractive. She needed to do nothing. Afro Goddess said, getting the attention from men and society is serious to women. Oh, man. That's so true. That is so true. And so sad. And so sad, man. So sad. This beautiful sister had 3 beautiful children. She was an entrepreneur. She had started a lip gloss company. She had a very successful husband, DC Young Fly, very talented, very funny for those that like his kind of comedy. But whether you liked his kind of comedy or not, you're talking about 2 individuals in a marriage, man, that had a family that were both ambitious and successful. They had everything going for them. Everything going for them, man. She didn't have to do this. And yet the forces and the tremendous pull of the society still made her believe that she had to do something. And she did it. And as a result, now her children, her beautiful 3 children, are without their mother. And DC Young Fly is without his wife. His life is going to change forever as a result of one decision. And his children's lives, her children, their life is going to change forever as a result of one decision, ladies. What is it with the modern woman today that is so dissatisfied with their natural body that they are willing to lose their life as a result to change it? This conversation and this discussion must continue to be had, because right now, as I speak, somebody is planning to do it right now. Perhaps in your family, perhaps a colleague that you work with on your job. And for those of you that are in the entertainment industry, someone right next to you that you call your friend, they're planning to do it right now. What are you doing to stop them from doing it when you know there is a history of women that have lost their lives as a result? You know this. Why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? It goes on to say in the article, who is Jackie O? Born Jacqueline Smith, Jackie O began making a name for herself by being featured on Wild 'N Out, on the set of which she met her future partner, DC Young Fly, in 2015. You see how long they've been together? They've been together for a while now. They met in 2015. He was an individual that got his premiere on Wild 'N Out. Mind you, Jackie O was already on a major platform. She was already successful. DC Young Fly was trying to become successful when she met him. That says a lot about the kind of woman she was, that she was even willing to have a conversation with this guy, because he wasn't yet very successful. She was more successful than he was. Says a lot about her being a little different than the average, because, you know, most women don't want to talk to you unless you're already up there, you know, and that's a problem too. That's a whole nother discussion. But Jackie O, she met him in 2015. Jackie O shared 3 young children with DC Young Fly: Nova, Nala, and a son whose name was Prince, who was born just last year. So sad, man. A video featuring Jackie O and her children was posted to her YouTube account 5 days ago with her and her children, where they went to see The Little Mermaid. There is a long history of plastic surgery related deaths. Afro Goddess said, how I see it, it starts from men, because the woman's body today is what men are attracted to. You know, I won't disagree with you, Afro Goddess, 100%. I will not. I will tell you this. The same sickness that a lot of women in general, black women in particular, suffer from as it relates to the insecurities of themselves is fueled by the sick attitudes that men have also began to adopt as it relates to this, because they've also been victimized by the same narrative, by the same industry. You know, Hollywood just makes you weird. That's a great comment, Afro Goddess. Thank you for your comment. Absolutely, I agree with that. I agree with that. No one escapes accountability where this is concerned. No one escapes accountability. Men have been sold the narrative, and they believe in the narrative. That's why they're the biggest fans on OnlyFans. That's why they're the biggest participants on Instagrams, and that's why they're the biggest participants in so many of these platforms where women in general, black women in particular, are being exploited sexually and sexualized in terms of how they carry themselves. Many of these women have undergone these same kind of procedures to get the appearance that they have. Oh, that's an excellent comment you made, Afro Goddess. Thank you for that comment. That's absolutely true. It can't be denied. You know, it can't be denied. But it's very sad. Death, this article goes on to highlight, death following plastic surgery has become increasingly common. Listen to this. And for you ladies that hear my stream and under the sound of my voice later after this stream is streamed live, I would hope that you would listen carefully. If you are considering a procedure like this, I want to tell you before I say the next thing, don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you are insecure about where your body is concerned, all it requires is just a little determination and work where you are concerned. That's all it takes. You don't have to go under a surgeon's knife to achieve what you could do yourself. Just stop being lazy. Just do the work. That's it. This article goes on to say, death following plastic surgery has become increasingly common. In December, a black woman traveled to the Dominican Republic for an unspecified surgical procedure before dying days later while recovering. In 2017, another black woman who underwent Brazilian butt lift died in Florida following the surgical procedure. Perhaps most famously, Kanye West's mother, Dr. Donda West, died in 2007. I know many of you remember this story about Kanye West's mom. After complications from liposuction, a tummy tuck, and breast reduction surgery. Her death prompted investigation into her operating surgeon, Dr. Jan Adams, and her nephew and post-operations caregiver, Dr. Stephen Scroggins. Adams said he believed Dr. West ingested as many as 20 Vicodin pills, aspirated food content into her lungs, and subsequently died. What? A coroner's report listed Dr. West's cause of death as pre-existing coronary artery disease and multiple post-operative factors following surgery, including constriction from her badging and the use of pain medication. Both Adams and Scroggins were cleared of any wrongdoing. Are you surprised? All of these surgeons, regardless of where they are, you've never heard too much about any of them facing responsibility for the deaths of the patients. You've never heard too many stories about them facing any penalization by way of law enforcement because of their procedures. You never heard of it. You hardly ever hear of this. All you hear is RIP to the individual that died. That's all you hear. It says, while it is unclear what type of surgery Jacko reportedly underwent, the Brazilian butt lift procedure has grown in popularity in recent years. Last year, Superstar rapper Cardi B warned. Now, listen to this. Here's someone who did try to say something. Last year, superstar rapper Cardi B warned against getting Brazilian butt lifts. She admitted to undergoing the procedure in a basement apartment in New York City for $800. She said the person who performed the surgery was not a doctor and ended up going to jail over the death of one of their patients. So, folks, you see, you understand what this does. You understand what this does. Now, like I said in the very beginning of the stream, the goal of a mommy makeover for most women that have had children is to restore the shape and the appearance of a woman's body after childbearing. Many women, we already know this, like I mentioned, many women notice changes in their bodies post-pregnancy. There are many areas of the body that can be addressed, and most commonly breast, abdomen, waist, genitalia, and buttocks. These areas are usually the areas that undergo this kind of surgery and unfortunately lead to the death of so many women. Not just in the United States, but you would be surprised all of the unreported deaths of women that die and lose their lives with these kind of procedures. Understand that. So, ladies, if I had anything last to say to you, if there was anything I could say last in this stream, I would say, not only love yourself, but don't trust the opinions and attitudes and ideas of social media. Don't trust the opinions, attitudes, and ideas of the entertainment industry. Don't trust the attitudes, opinions, and ideas of Hollywood and all of these other platforms that make you to believe, like OnlyFans and Instagram, that you need to do something so drastic as to go under a surgeon's knife and carve up your body to have an appearance to please who? Just do the work, ladies. I don't want to see any more black women die under these kind of procedures. I don't want to see any more women, period, die, regardless of your ethnicity, under these kind of silly, avoidable procedures. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. And any man that makes you believe that you're so unattractive that you need to go under a surgeon's knife to carve up your body like a turkey to get some appearance that he's going to be attracted to, man, tell him to go to hell. Simple as that. If you are if you are unsatisfied with how you look, ladies, you do the work. You hit the gym. You watch your diet. You cut down on your portions. Do what you need to do to get yourself where you need to get. Do some squats. Oh, that'll tighten up your buttocks now. Do some weight training. That'll lift the girls up a little bit if you start doing it and you're not lazy. If you watch your diet, all of these things are there for you to do naturally. But see, in this society, we live in a microwave society where you want to drive up to the drive-thru and get your meal, but you didn't cook it. See, that's the kind of society we live in. Ladies, you don't have to do that to yourself. You don't have to do that to yourself. You know, you really don't have to do it to yourself. Just do the work. Shout out to Afro Goddess. Thank you, my sister. Afro Goddess said, very well said. I appreciate you. This is what we need to do. Ladies, this is what you need to do. You have to look in your own mirror and be proud of yourself. That's it. Be proud of yourself. Get yourself to where you're happy with how you look. And when you're unhappy with how you look, you go to work to fix the things that you dislike. Because I will tell you this, and I will tell you this. Any man that some of you ladies are with right now, If he's making you feel bad about how you look, I said make you feel bad. I'm talking about being insulting as to his response and remarks to you. Then you need to show him where the doorknob is at your front door or your back door or whatever door you can find, and you got to let him go. Because it's going to serve you. It's not going to serve you well if you follow after what he's saying. Based on that, you make yourself feel like you're unworthy, and then you go do something drastic like this, and you end up losing your life. Don't do it. Of course, you have to be attractive to the man that you want. And of course, you have to be attractive to the husband that you have. But if he's encouraging you to do something like this, he's not really for you. You let him go. You let him go. And this is not to say that DC Young Fly encouraged his wife. Don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand my words. I don't know what he said to her. I don't know what he made her feel, or if he made her feel anything. You know, unfortunately, the modern woman today, she don't really need any encouragement from the man that she's with. If she has an idea, she makes a decision. A lot of times, her decision is made long before her husband even knows it. By the time he knows, she's already made up her mind. So I'm not saying that he encouraged her. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that if a husband knows that his wife has this desire to do this, that's when you have to put your foot down and make her to know and understand that you're satisfied with her. And I'm talking to guys that are married right now and that are in long-term relationships. Don't you let your wife or your long-term, significant other that you're with, don't you make her believe that she's so unattractive, so inadequate, that she has to go under a surgeon's knife and potentially lose her life under anesthesia to get some physical results. Man, don't you be that kind of dude, man. And ladies, don't you accept that kind of dude that would make you feel that insecure about yourself. This stuff has to stop, man. Women are dying a lot. Again, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And with that being said, I thank all of you for getting on the stream tonight. Shout out to Afro Goddess again for your engagement. I really appreciate you. Shout out to Abdul. Shout out to Margaret. Shout out to Gail for getting on the stream tonight. I truly appreciate you. As you come into the building, I hope that you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, the share button, and support the channel at Cash App. $ capital C capital G 4033. And with that being said, I am your host, and I appreciate you. My name is Charles Chambliss. Till next time, we are out. Have a good night, folks.